What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down even more Pokemon Generation 10 leaks, some other Pokemon that are going to be part of this game, and the mechanic itself. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and support the channel, become a channel member, and let's dive in. Now, for those who missed the previous video, essentially, the new region is going to be taking place in a Pokemon version of Greece, but within the Cyclades areas, which is a set of islands that are off the coast of Greece, and it's going to be an island hopping adventure. Now, if you know anything about Greece, you know what they're most famous for. It's going to be their Greek mythology about the different gods and how these gods interacted with the world and different characters and their stories and their architecture in general. Now, we're taking that idea and applying that to Pokemon, and that is going to be the big twist for Generation 10. Now, Moot is the one who is leaking all this information, so of course take this with a grain of salt. We don't know how reliable they are. They seem to have insider knowledge from the Pokemon anime team that just recently had a meeting with Game Freak, and also using information from the Terra leaks that occurred last year, where it was a big dump of all the Game Freak information that we know, and a lot of hints towards Gen. Now, they said this is going to be our last post for a while. Due to popular requests, I'll be making some sort of outline for the new mechanic, codename Arceus. Please note that this information is entirely subject to change and is not finalized, but elements of it were present in or hinted at in the Terra leak. Read below. The Majin. So you can assume the Majin as the gods. A collection of extra dimensional beings led by a mysterious figure. These gods are able to possess both Pokemon and people alike. Regional folklore states that these Majin raise the islands out of the sea itself and are the guardian deities of their respective islands. When possessing a powerful enough vessel, they're able to channel their power into reality, shaping their domains in their image. So there are these essentially gods that are out there. They're not Pokemon. Well, we don't know at the moment, but they're pretty much not Pokemon. They're not really visible. But they have to have a vessel in order for them to have effect on the world. The vessels, particularly powerful Pokemon possessed by the Majin. Concept art showed the leader of the Majin possessing a legendary mythical Pokemon, granting it incredible power, as well as some slight coloration changes in a visible aura, not unlike the ones granted to the trial bosses in Pokemon Sun and Moon. The vessel is the locus of the Majin's power, gaining the ability to shape the environment, unleash incredibly powerful attacks, and much more. So the vessels are how we're going to be interacting with these Majins in the terms of actually fighting them. And these vessels, one seems to be a legendary mythical Pokemon, could be one of them, and there's going to be some other ones as well. I don't know if these are going to necessarily be replacing gym leaders, or it's going to be a combination of the vessels and gym leaders we're going to have to fight throughout the game in order to rank up. We'll just have to wait and see for more information. But now the actual mechanic itself, Arceus. When holding a certain item specific to a Majin, similar to sort of like a Mega Stone in a way, right? A player's Pokemon can be blessed by said Majin. This leads to stat changes in the vein of the Majin. So offensive Majins will give offensive stat buffs, etc. And there's going to be multiple different Majins. So the stone or the item you give them, the sigil, is going to be very important in what the actual outcome is going to be. When activated, clouds envelop the Pokemon in a swirling vortex, and lightning strikes blessing the Pokemon. So it probably is a mechanic that I would assume that you can only use once in battle, and probably can only use once on your team. Probably balanced in the same way how Terra, Dynamax, and even Megas are balanced. The Apostles. Certain species of Pokemon gain more from a Arceus than others. These species are attuned to a specific Majin, and when they use Arceus with that Majin's item, they truly ascend, gaining what is functionally a Mega Evolution in the image of their Majin. There is a couple more hints. So if you don't know what these hints mean, first letter of the Pokemon's name, so like an M, and then the 7 would be a generation, right? So this is a hint. Obviously, it doesn't really confirm the Pokemon because, you know, things can be cut, and there are multiple groups of the Pokemon. But now, luckily for us, we have this great infographic. So the important things, one, their goal for Generation 10 is 120 new Pokemon in regionals forms. Right now, there are 70 in their final stages of development, so they have about 50 more they want to hit. 32 Pokemon plan to receive the Apostle gimmick, which is the gimmick where they essentially Mega Evolve. It's not Mega Evolution, but think about it like Mega Evolution, which is actually a lot of Pokemon, 32, right? That's a good amount. Now, the Divine Sigil is the item that is used to get this Pokemon to either Apostle Mega Evolve or just get the stat buff. Items connected to Majins. An Apostle who prays to this item receives his blessings, gaining a form, change, and stat buff. Now, the Majin, the gods themselves, confirmed codename Diablos leader. We're given examples. Poseidon, co-founder leader. Hades, co-founder and leader. So, we'll just have to see, but there might be 8 gods, but there's 12 gods in Greek myth though, so we'll just have to see if they just mess around with it. But 8 would make a lot of sense, and if they treat each one of these like a gym leader in a way, but not really, and then when you beat them, you get a sigil, and you get all the sigils, then you can fight the actual, I don't know, the top tier Majins and their vessels. That could be a cool way to think about it, right? Now, we have 3 different groups of Pokemon. So the green group here, group of 8, they're all confirmed. These Pokemon are all in their final stages of development. We pretty much know some of them, the ones with the stars, are confirmed. So N1 and N1 would be a Pokemon that starts with an N in Generation 1. 2 of them, Nidoking and Nidoqueen, are getting an Apotheus evolution. That is confirmed. A10, so that is a new Pokemon for this game. It's apparently a monkey. Source said it had multiple forms, and they have shown 2 Apostle designs, which is very interesting. And then Gardevoir and Gallade, so representing G3 and G4. So we got 2 reps there. Honestly, it's a good pair, good matchup as well. And then these we don't really know, because there's just too many Pokemon that can fit the different letters. But it could be Komao, Komala, Kartana for K7. M1 could be Muck, Machamp, Mr. Mime, Marowak, Moltres, Mewtwo, or Mew. A lot of options there. I think Machamp would be the best one out of this group, in my opinion, but I would also like to see Moltres too. D5, Druddigon, Darmanitan, or Durant. I don't think it would be Darmanitan because he already has a form. However, Druddigon is definitely a Pokemon that deserves something for sure. I think I'm going to lean towards him. Durant could also get one as well. Now, the group of 24. These are being considered / worked on at the moment, but these 24 are essentially part of that 32 Pokemon that are being planned. So some of these could get cut, but most likely these Pokemon are locked in at the moment. So K5 is Keldeo, confirmed as an idea, but not necessarily confirmed in Gaia. That would be really cool though. I could totally see a like unicorn being in the game, maybe give it some wings, and that fits the Greek mythos pretty well. K6 is Klefki, W2 is Wobbuffet, F3 is Flygon. So the Flygon fans out there, you are gonna be getting something special. You're not getting a Mega Evolution of Pokemon Legends ZA, but you're gonna be getting some sort of godlike evolution in this game. So Flygon bros, rise up. This is your time. And Surfetch was actually confirmed as well. So we got Surfetch for S and 8. So that's actually really cool too. Now T9, it could be Tinkaton, Terrapagos, Tatsuguri, or Toedscruel. B5 could be Bouffalant, Braviary, Bisharp, Bahimi, or Baratic. I'm leaning towards more Bouffalant there, or Bahimi. And I think T9 is probably Tinkaton. A6 could be Aegislash, Auroras, Aromatisse, Avalog. I think A6 is probably Aegislash. M7, Mimikyu, Meteor, Mudsdale, Melmetal, Magearna, Marshadow. I actually think it's going to be Mimikyu, because Mimikyu is such a fan favorite Pokemon. N5, Musharna, Mienshao, Maractus, Mandibuzz, and Meloetta. That's a tough group. I don't know who would get it from that. B4, Bibarel, Bastiodon, Bronzong. I think Bronzong probably gets something. D1, Dugtrio, Dragonite, Ditto, and Dewdong. Now, Dragonite is getting a Mega in Pokemon Legends ZA from the other leaks. So, I think it might be Dewgong. I think it might be Dongers out here. P1, Parasect, Pidgeot, Persian, and Pinsir. Now, it's probably either between Parasect and Persian because neither of these Pokemon have really gotten anything. I mean, there is a regional, to be fair, for Persian, but, I mean, Parasect's never received anything. Then R1 is Raichu, Raticate, and Rapidash. I could really see Rapidash get one just because it is a perfect Greek Pokemon. So that would make a lot of sense to me. And then this group of 41. Now, these Pokemon have been proposed, and we only know 21 out of these 41. So they're proposed. They're just ideas. Doesn't mean any of them are actually even going to make the cut in general. But the ones that were brought up in this meeting was Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Rillaboom, Cinderace, Inteleon, Incineroar, Fossil Minum, Phenone Manaphy, Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Surulege, Armarouge, Kingdra, Tyranitar, and Blessifon. Have suggested all Ultra Beasts, only specifically name one. So all the Ultra Beasts are potentially on the board here. And then Lucario, Luxray, Lopunny, Licky, Leafeon, and Luminion. And then Talonflame, Tantrum, and Trevenant. These are all potentials, right? The Vessel, we only have one head of the Vessel, but it could be Deoxys, Dialga, Darkrai, or Diancie. I think it's going to be Darkrai because Darkrai could be seen as like Mephistos in Greek mythology. I mean, it definitely has like a nightmare god vibe to it. So I could totally see that being a thing. But Deoxys is also straight up an alien. So that also could work too. But overall, I think this is a decent set of Pokemon. But I think what we should really hone in here is 120 new Pokemon with regional forms being included. 32 Pokemon being considered for this brand new Apostle gimmick. We know which 8 Pokemon are going to be confirmed for it, at least half of them for the most part. And then out of the 24, we know 14 of the 24. We know which ones are getting it for sure. Shout out to Flygon and also Surfetch, but a bunch of other good options here. And that 41 is probably just a wish list. So overall, I'm pretty happy with what we have here. This might be the last Gen 10 leak we have for a minute, but if we have any more for either Gen 10 or PLZA, of course, stay tuned here. I'll report on it. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and become a member, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.